Everyone, welcome back to another movie review, and we're going to be reviewing without my glasses on because I can't find them. I really wanted to record this video and, get this out here because I recently watched Fargo. Not this show, but the movie, the 1996 classic from Joel Coen, from the Coen brothers. I think I've heard of the Coen brothers, but I can't put my finger on what they directed, but I've heard their name like a lot in movies. I watched this movie last week. I thought that I was gonna forget this movie, but no, this movie, I remember it pretty clearly. All right, Fargo, 1996 classic from Joel Coen of the Coen brothers, that stars William H. Marcy, William H. Marcy, and Frances McDormand and Steve Buscemi. I love this movie. Alright, I love this, and when I first watched it, I thought I liked it, but I didn't feel like I liked it enough. You know what I mean? Like, I thought this was, it's pretty good, but the more I think about it, the more I slowly start to like it, and I was a little disappointed at first because, this seemed like a movie that I would immediately love, like, something that I would be like, this is, immediately, one of the, you know what I mean, because it's a pretty simple story. It's about this guy, played by William H. Marcy. I think his name is, there's a freaking fly. Jerry, not, okay, I have the movie Wikipedia thing on, because sometimes I forget names. Basically, it's about, this guy who hires these two, not burglars, but, kidnappers, to basically kidnap, his wife. He pays the ransom money. And he pays a good chunk of money, and they keep a little bit of it, and then the rest of the money goes back to him so that he can pay off debts. Now, it's never really explained what the debts he has to pay off. It's only mentioned once when he's talking to the guys in the beginning of the movie, but it's never brought up again. And honestly, sorry, there's a fly in this freaking video, and I feel like that's one of the many things about this movie that I think is kind of cool. That a lot of the things in this movie kind of subverts expectations. So this movie's called Fargo, right? And it's based off of a real town in I believe North Dakota. I think it borders North Dakota and Minnesota. I'm pretty sure, if I remember. And it only takes place in Fargo, I think, in the beginning of the movie, and then it just takes place in Minnesota the rest of the movie. And it's a thing where, you think you're going to get something, and then it subverts expectations. And that's what I like about this movie. It kind of surprises you, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise you, if that makes sense. Frances McDormand, she is, this investigator, where she has to investigate this crime scene, which was caused by the kidnappers, when they kidnap his wife, William H. Marcy's wife, and something goes awry. I don't want to say it because, and by the way, this is going to contain minor spoilers, but it's not going to spoil the whole movie. It's just little bits of what the movie is. So if you don't want to hear anything from this movie and you just want to go in blind, just watch the movie. Don't watch this video, and maybe come back if you want to hear my thoughts on it. But it's a bunch of two stories that happen, that kind of go into one thing. They kind of clash together at the end. And I think I always like movies like that kind of set up this one thing and then another thing, and they just mix together. If it's done right. If it's done wrong, I feel like it just turns out messy and just doesn't feel super put together in the end. But this movie does it really good. William H. Marcy's character in this movie is absolutely just spineless. He is the most spineless and the most dumbest, but also conniving character in this movie at the same time. He's dumb and conniving at the same time. I don't know how you even manage that. At the beginning, you kind of see him as this guy who's just a little, he's just a little, he doesn't, he means well, but he's just too nice for his own good, which most of the people in here are pretty nice because it takes place in Minnesota, and Minnesota is pretty, in most, not just Minnesota, but most of the Midwest, are known for being pretty nice people. I mean, I live in the Midwest, and when I mean Midwest, I mean like northern Missouri. Up there is like nice, where you get the really nice people, and it kind of this movie kind of plays into that, like the nice Minnesota nice type of thing, and it's I watched a pretty good video like talking about how that's also a good, both a good and a bad thing when it comes to the story of this movie, because not only like the main character is nice to people, but when it comes to having problems with, the stuff that goes awry when they're trying to keep his wife safe, it's like they take advantage of his niceness, basically. Or at least Steve Buscemi's character, who is absolutely amazing in this. He is funny, but also threatening at the same time. Well, later on in the movie, he's more threatening, but he has like the right balance between disturbing and threatening, and I like that. And also, there's this other guy who's mostly silent, but he is probably the most menacing person in this movie. I forgot the actor's name, and I forgot the actual character's name because I'm not very good with names. And also, even though he doesn't speak at all, him and Steve Buscemi have a really funny like chemistry. And I like how everyone describes Steve Buscemi as this guy who looks funny, and that's all they describe him as. They just think he looks funny. And like, there's this really funny scene where this police guy is talking to this one guy who talked to Steve Buscemi previously, and he described him as just like funny looking, and he's like, "What do you mean by funny looking?" And he's like, "Just the general kind." And I thought that was so funny. And also Frances McDormand, absolutely like amazing in this movie. I love her character and just how just how like it's like kind of the opposite of William H. Marcy's character, where his Minnesota's nice is a lot more. It just comes off as spineless when it's him. But with Frances McDormand, it comes off as adorable, and I love it. I think she is also in the movie. She's like the cop trying to figure out this case. She's pregnant, and there's a scene where you think she's like gonna like something is kicking. She's gonna have the baby, but then it's just morning sickness, and that's also one of the things that it's one of the like subvert your expectation moments. I'm pretty like scattered with this review. It's just I have a lot to say about this movie. I love it. I love how simple it is, but it does so much with it. There's this character. There's so many characters in this movie that don't even play that much of a role, but you remember them because like of just how like quirky and weird they are, but like not in an annoying way, like in a fun, cool way. There's like at the end of the scene, there's a pretty famous scene. It's disturbing, but at the same time, it's like you're kind of like the Frances McDormand. You don't really like fully process it, I guess, and she gives a monologue at the end of this movie that I feel like should be like kind of iconic, but it's not. But it should be like the way she says what she says at the end is really cool. Yeah, this movie, I love the feeling of this movie. It's just it feels like winter, but like it's like a really cozy dark movie, if that makes sense. And I love that. I just love how tight it is, like tight knit it is, like just all of these things happen, and they all come together in a pretty short amount of time, and I love that. I feel like I could say more about this, but I feel like you should just watch this movie. It's pretty good. At first I liked it, like I really liked it, but I just didn't think it was super great. But now I think it's really good. Another watch, I'd probably give this like a solid 10 out of 10. But right now it's like a pretty decent 8.5. But the more I think about it, it's getting up there. So I have a Letterboxd. So if you want to see like an update to my review, like if I do a review and later I change my mind, you could see it on Letterboxd. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Gaming and reviews coming more coming soon. So next review is going to either be if I watch Mission Impossible with my dad today or tomorrow, it'll probably be that. Or there's another movie that I've been anticipating, but I kind of want to keep it a secret. So because like I want it to be like kind of a mystery, like not my most anticipated, but an anticipated movie that I think a lot of people wouldn't even think of for being so anticipated. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Go watch Fargo. Bye.